Hi, welcome back to another quick rip here on Graybeard Disc Golf. Today I've got something a little special. Hopefully you've already seen my review of the Gorgon. I have the Gorgon in two plastics, the Star and the GStar. Star and GStar, 168 and 169 respectively. But I also picked up the Gorgon in Pro plastic. Now I'm a big fan of the Pro plastic. I've talked a little bit on my channel before about the Pro Destroyer that I use. I have a couple of Pro Destroyers, and they're just absolute money for a low arm speed schlub like me. But what I've also seen online and what I managed to get my grubby little mitts on was a Gorgon in the Halloween Proto Glow. So I'm curious to see how these fly. The Flying Fajita did a comparison of the Proto, and he saw that it flew quite a bit more stable than the Star. Now he turns the Star over; he's quite a bit stronger than I am. But we're going to see exactly how these fly for me. So we're going to go in this order. We're going to go Star, G-Star, Pro, and then Proto in order, basically the order that I got them. A little bit of a tailwind you can feel, or you can hear probably. So I just want to get these out on a consistent flight. I want to throw these flat and see how they work out. Let's try to get these flat. Yep, just like that. Nice and straight. Not a ton of distance, but still. Beautiful flight. All right, let's see if we can get this on the same kind of flat line. Well, it came out very similar, but it definitely burned over. I might have had a little bit of Annie on that, a little bit. So, Pro. Whoa. It's a little slick out here. Up a little bit. Beautiful flight. Wow, that's a crush. All right. Proto, let's see what you got. Beautiful. Wow, three different plastics, three very different flights. Obviously, I didn't throw them all exactly the same. It's really hard to do that, especially for an amateur player like me to get consistent releases. But those all went pretty well how I expected them to go. Well, those all turned out pretty good. Not a huge crush. Let's put a little bit more welly into it and see if we can't get these to behave. Oh, there we go. A little bit of turn on it. There we are. G-Star. I'm going to put a bit of hyzer on this and see if I can't get this to flip up and see. That really will showcase how understable this thing is. Yeah, flipped up to flat from a pretty good hyzer. All right, Pro, we're going to throw you probably with a hyzer. Let's get it to flip up. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, and Proto Glow. That Proto Glow seems to be kind of a nice middle ground between the Star and the Pro. I'd almost say that these four kind of fly almost a little bit differently. You got almost all these stages in there. Well, those worked out pretty good. I got to say, I was not expecting to be able to get that kind of distance so quickly. I'm fairly cold. I've only had a couple throws in the field, so hadn't really warmed up. All four of these are flying just beautifully. But as you heard, there was a bit of a tailwind there, so obviously that kind of helped with the distance, I hope. I'm going to throw back at the bag, so we're going to have a little bit of a headwind. Let's see how these handle a little bit of a headwind. Star first. We put these all on a bit of a hyzer, on a fairly good hyzer. Oh man, textbook hyzer flip. Look at that. Wow. I'm going to put this one, this GStar, on the same hyzer, and I'm guessing we're going to watch it burn over. That'd be my thought. Let's see if we can't get it to do that. Yeah, right over. Right over. And it's rolling. It's still rolling. Holy. It went behind the fence. That's incredible. If you bag that star as just a driver, you could put the GStar in there as a roller. Like as an amateur guy like me with I wouldn't say a slow arm speed. I think I'm around the mid 50s, slower anyways. To be able to have a disc that's a pretty consistent roller would be great. All right, Pro Plastic. Probably not as understable as that GStar, but definitely not as stable, or overstable rather, as that Star. Same hyzer. There's that wind. Oh, look at that. Slightly different line, but definitely didn't burn over to roll. And last and certainly not least, the Proto Glow. I'll look at these in the edit and check, because I can stop and see what the hyzer angle is as it's coming out of my hand on all of those, but feels like I'm getting pretty consistent there. Let's see if we can't do that a fourth time here. Oh, look at it ride right. I mean, it went up. Look at that go. Huge glide out of these things. Wow. So 4 fairly consistent throws and 4 very different landing spots. Let's go have a look. So once again, it looks like that GStar on the roller is an absolute bomber for me. Look at that. Look at that. That's how far it flew. Well, it didn't fly. It rolled. That's how far it rolled. That's incredible. Well, that is surprising me. That's insane. All 3 of those throws were over 320 feet. That's incredible. Into a headwind, nonetheless. And you saw that Pro just burned over, and it was still 320 feet. I used U-Disc to measure out the distances there using the GPS on my phone. Well, thanks for joining me today again. All 4 of these plastics fly a little bit differently. I could bag 2 of these. Any 2 of these would complement my bag really, really well. Although I think the Star is definitely going to go back in my bag because it appears that this might be one of the longest discs I throw. So, again, get out there, have a huck. Hey, did you practice your putting today? Get out there, practice a few putts. You'll be a better disc golfer. Thanks again. See you next time on Graybeard Disc Golf.